Good evening, love, and great evening, light illuminators and way showers, whenever it is now for you. Thanks for hanging out once again with us in our now moment. Dave and I are hanging out here having a beautiful fire and a beautiful night. I thought we might share a little Fireside Oracle with all of you. So we were feeling the energy of the fire today, and we were in a webinar, also celebrating the eagle energy and being out here in the woods and the trees. And Dave and I were actually talking today about eagles. So being out here in the woods and the trees and having that energy filling us today, talking about eagles. And then his whole webinar was themed about eagles. And we're actually going to cook our dinner over the open fire because we just love being outside in nature as often as possible. So welcome. Welcome to our backyard fireside. I should say our, back porch. So here we are. I've got the candle going here. The fire is actually like right next to us. And so I've got the Native Spirit Oracle deck here. And this was my very first deck ever. I've mentioned that quite a few times over the years. And, just in the honor of the idea of the eagle energy, our indigenous peoples' energy, and how they spoke to the star people. They knew the star people existed. And so much of their culture revolves around that. And I think that we see that in many indigenous cultures across the world, left in petroglyphs and hieroglyphs, and how the shaman, the spiritual people talk to the earth and all the elements and all of the occupants of the earth and the sky and the stars.
The book suggests, which we don't usually do, and I'm not sure why exactly we don't really do it, but the book suggests, if you're watching this, ask a specific question that you would like answered, and the reading will be for that question. So everyone will have their own question, but the reading will be appropriate for each one.
Well, if Dave wants to start, I began with the first card that fell out was Walking in Beauty.
Walking in Beauty.
And here, right?
The beauty way.
Even right here, yes. That is something that the Navajo talked about. Where's the path of beauty, the beauty way. And I find it interesting that we come back to the idea of spirit and talking to spirit and the great spirit, and yet so many still find that so odd, or that it's strange that we can talk to spirit. Yet our indigenous cultures have been showing that to us all along by walking in that path of beauty. It embodies the idea of being connected to everything. What's the book say? I thought we would read some of the card meanings tonight.
In Native American traditions, there's a concept of walking in beauty. It's called Hosho Nasha in the Navajo Diné tradition, and it means being in balance with a natural way of life. when we are in the right relationship with the natural world around us, we are walking in beauty. The more you sense and see beauty around you, in your environment, yourself, and your body, the more it will fill your life in all forms. Never say anything about yourself or your body that's negative. Don't put down yourself or others. Instead, affirm beauty and take the time to adorn your body and your personal space. Walk in nature and inhale the beauty of every part of our wonderful planet. Cherish yourself and the luminescence within you, and you will glow.
You will glow.
So what does that mean to you? How does that answer your question?
And I'm glad you brought that up about asking questions, because it's something that I often, like as you say, I often neglect to say is if you have a specific question. I think because sometimes I take for granted that the readings will reveal the answer to a question that we already have, but that's always a good intention in all of these readings is, what question do you need answered? And that doesn't, the reading may help unfold the answer for you as well. And the next one, interestingly enough, is the trickster, the coyote. So I'm interested to see how that enters the path here of I'm kind of getting the idea like the trickster in us. It's that voice maybe that's in us that says to do things the easy way, or to how we're tricked into even seeing the truth of who we are.
It's interesting because Bashar talks about this exact thing.
Yes.
Which I'll read to you also. But it's important to understand that oftentimes spirit and other guides and higher dimensional beings that are helping you do things to trick you, to get you to move in the direction that you need to move in for your highest good. This actually, in indigenous traditions, there's a concept of the tricksters. In Native American traditions, the tricksters is often depicted as a wily coyote, but sometimes the trickster is a human called a heyoka. And sometimes the heyoka is depicted sort of like a clown doing silly things when you're a human. There is a lighthearted, fun aspect of the trickster, but there's also caution to tread carefully because things are not always as they seem. Mm-hmm. Be discerning. So
that was the message I got too, about the being discerning.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily mean to do the thing that's being directed to do, but it's to be discerning about it. And there have been people who have talked about different dreams that they've had, where in their dreams they see creatures or extraterrestrials or shadows, and they're sort of doing tricky things, and the guidance about that is they're always doing something to help you. Like it's impossible to not be helping you, even if it seems like it's in a negative way. Sometimes it's to scare you away from the thing that doesn't serve you, or to teach you that there is nothing to be scared of. And this is just another example. And in your dream, for instance, experience that scared thing. So when you wake up, you could think about it and realize, I don't have anything to be afraid of.
I don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the card that just fell out. So what I was getting to with the idea of the trickster energy is sometimes we're offered things from our guides to not a test necessarily, because I don't know that our guides actually test us in the ways that we believe that is, but that we are offered circumstances in which we get to decide whether or not we're acting in integrity. You know, where sometimes you think, oh, am I guided to do this thing? And then just pause and ask yourself, is this thing that I'm thinking about doing, am I acting in integrity? And I had to laugh because I'm shuffling and the card that fell out, what did Dave just say? It's the Dream Traveler. And Dave and I every morning ask ourselves, what do you remember your dreams? Do you remember your dreams? And nearly every night I'm dreaming about being with others in different scenarios, different ways. And I know for certain how often, like how we are literally with each other in our dreams. We've talked about this in many videos. Oh, and we just passed the 11 dreams, or timestamp, dream stamp.
This is a visionary card with the message that you're on the right path, even if it doesn't always seem to be like it. Your higher self and spiritual guides, ancestors, and guardians are watching over you and supporting you. You're blessed and you are a blessing. You are a dreamer in the most wondrous definition of the word. In earth-based tribal traditions, people look to those unique individuals who have the ability to journey during their nocturnal dreams to bring back wisdom and guidance for the tribe. The dreamers were able to step through the sacred portals in the night to commune with those on the other side. You carry the energy of visionary, healer, and seer. Watch your dreams. Messages from the creators are flowing to you.
And I all of a sudden, okay, everything's quantum, right? So I feel this reflective thing that happens, you know, in my heart center, and all of a sudden it's almost like I hear how the message pinged with someone. Like someone needed to hear exactly that. So wherever you are, because everything's now, even if you're watching this tomorrow, next week, next year, next month, whatever, because everything's quantum, I hear the ping right now. The fire gods concur. The fire element concurs. So it's kind of interesting to know that, oh, that message could have been heard in any now moment from anyone, or it could be just you, like you now watching this, watching us whenever you're watching it, and maybe I'm hearing your ping, you know, that...
Well, the messages are timeless because we're just making up time for the experience of having time.
Exactly.
There is not really such thing as time.
As we create time to exist. We're the only place that experiences time the way we experience time. And so in that sense, we are extremely unique in ancient forest and nature spirits. Well, we are definitely communicating with the nature spirits right here in our ancient forest. And actually, this forest that's right here, I mean, I have no idea how old it is. And to me, it feels like a sacred ancient forest. And this is where, and tonight, right now, we are all communicating quantumly with the nature spirits through this message.
Throughout the world, those in indigenous cultures revere what is called the tree. The
Do you need
tree
more light?
people, almost.
Okay.
The powerful life force of trees can bring healing, strengthening, and grounding energies. The kind of tree might vary from culture to culture, but the reverence and gratitude for its beneficial energies are the same. The ancient forest is alive with nature spirits. Additionally, each tree has an individual spirit, especially powerful and resilient. The forest can survive the harshest conditions because of the mutual support of the spirit of the entire forest.
The mutual support of the entire forest.
Your greatest strength is silent and deep. It doesn't need a show of force. It's an inner power and is found through the contemplation, reflection, and meditation. Sometimes it comes from times of growth and change, and other times it springs from surviving and conquering painful situations. Adopt a tree. It can be one in your yard, or one in a park or wilderness area. Talk to the tree, touch its bark, give thanks, and by doing so, you create an energy connection that will continue to mature you no matter how far away you are from your adopted tree.
It's like all of a sudden I'm like talking to the trees.
It reminds me of our avocado tree.
Yes. Anastasia.
Mm-hmm. So, did you get your answers? Did you get your answers?
I got a lot of confirmations myself. If there's, every time we do these readings, it's like as if there's ever a doubt in our minds about anything. The oracle just seems to bring through the answer in whatever deck, that we're guided to bring. I know we're getting low on light, but our ancestors. I just felt that there was another message, and it's just to remind us our ancestors are also working in harmony with our spirit guides, with the nature spirits. Because they're connected in ways that we believe we're not right now. Our ancestors are speaking to us through nature, through the nature spirits.
Your ancestors are sending you incredible support to fulfill your dreams. Be aware of the coincidences, signs, and synchronicities around you. Watch for messages from your forebears. No matter what's occurring on the surface of your life, your prayers are being answered in mysterious ways beyond your awareness.
No matter what you're going through, your prayers are being answered through so many different ways that we're being invited as a human collective consciousness to become more aware of our ability to communicate with everything. Absolutely everything.
So you're always in complete connection with everything. And they're all of those things, the all is always in total connection with you. It's up to you to hear it and to see it.
Thanks. Thanks for being with us, and as always, we appreciate and value the gift of your presence. Nialaves me ete. Hono aka ondoya heme enea ha. Ho ha ma aneano ko apahana ki ehe. Inu mayuru aha aka ono. Oma a enea ashaha o shoko ha ma. Aja ehene me mawa ana awa o ho. O ha eneni ana Ana itoko a anana. Each and every one of you carry the knowledge of all creation. Na awaha, na iwaha, na e imwama ona, wa'ate, whatever the tool you use to communicate, na wa'ano maro ba'ayanayana, eva samoto utuvashana ise, is the way you need to hear the message. Avashamoro o mahawa ono, eja iwahana e neme awa oahana e te ea, oho o ona. May your senses always be open, neto ete, to hearing the messages of all that is through your ancestors. Nyawa otokoa shata, through your higher mind, through your guides, through the forest. Yakwasha. Yataga.
We love you.
Shiato. Love you guys. Yashata. Namaste.